How's it going, everybody? All right. I'm gonna do a little update here. As you can see, motor's out. It's right here. I'll get to all this in a minute. I'll go over mine first. Some things I kind of forgot. Well, kind of ideas I decided to do with the motor. Like I said, I had some blow by. I ended up finding a couple bad rings. So pulled the motor. I did all the scope and all that and everything, and that's kind of left me to that to pull the motor and go through it and everything. Well, I could replace just the rings and stuff like that. But it's all stripped down, the motor. There's nothing in here. But I also decided to go with, since I have the motor out, I'm going to change over to 1/2-inch head studs. I have the 7/16 ARPs. I'm going to change over to 1/2-inch. There's another upgrade I'm doing, but I'll show you guys that when I have it. Possibly when I have it, or when the motor's back in and everything. I think that's all for the motor that I plan on doing. Like I said, the motor's not hurt. Everything's fine with it. Bearings look great. As for the rear end, I didn't even show you the last time that it's actually in there. I just showed you the tire. Couple things on that, but you can see it's in there. It's all in. Everything's in. You see that little wet spot? Yeah, that's on me. Reason that is I didn't even think about it, guys. I didn't even clean the powder coating off of the surface for the center section. I didn't even think about it, be honest, and put the center section in, and I was fighting with getting it in. So the silicone might have dried, plus with the powder coating, it's not going to seal good to the powder coating because it's slick. So it doesn't bond real good. So that's on me. Not a big issue though. I'll just have to take the center section out again. Clean the center section. Clean the powder coating up the center section, or clean the powder coating up the rear end, and redo it all. And I did make my brake lines and all that, and I made, I don't know if you could see it, you really can't. You can see it right there, kind of right next to the exhaust. You see that little tab? I tack welded some tabs on there for the brake lines. I did 2 on each side, and then I did, like I said, I was gonna tack weld the T up on top. I did that. The sway bar is the same sway bar I had in there when I had the Caprice rear end. It's the Caprice sway bar. It still fits and everything, and it clears. It actually, the angle of it that comes back makes it easier for me to get to the jack. It actually gets to the jack really, or to the lift point out the rear end. And as you can see here, I'll go over all this stuff here. That's a good 1.25 inches of clearance. This rear end was narrowed. Oh, I had it narrowed 2.5 inches. It's a 10-inch rim. The tire is overall, from wall to wall, is 12.5 inches with the 10-inch rim. It is a 295, right? 295, 55, 15. I don't know what the backspace is. I don't remember. I think it was 4.5 inch. And I'm running drums. So if you do disc, take that into consideration. Now, the reason why I went 2.5 inch was right here, right about here, inside the here, there's a bump, and this tire would rub. So I brought it in 1.25 inches each side to make total 2.5 inches. It clears no problem now. All that's good. You would think it's clear here, but the car's going to be coming down a little more. I'm going to be bringing the car down a little bit more. Which bringing it down more means I got to bring my exhaust up higher. So I have things I got to do for that too. That's a whole nother thing. And then the tightest spot on this was at the front side of the tire. Right there, you can see where I kind of got marks and stuff like that. Now I have about 3/8 of an inch of clearance from the frame to the tire, which is good. That's all good and everything. And like I said, that's with a drum brakes. Yeah, I went back to the drum, well, partially because of that, but mainly because I felt I had better brakes when this thing had drums and disc. They felt better to me. Not like my green car. That thing's got phenomenal brakes. I just felt better with them. I mean, the 4-wheel disc worked fine and everything, but it didn't feel as good as I wanted it to. So I just went back to here. I put a regular style master cylinder on there. It's in here, new master, the stock booster. With stock booster, my valve cover is really close, but it's clear. It clears. And then I think that's really everything for this one. Like I said, I just plan on doing that stuff with the motor, changing the bolts or the studs, and then some other upgrades I'm going to be doing. And I got to deal with the exhaust thing and all that, but I can figure all that out. I got room for my exhaust to go up. As for this one, as some of you know, it's an SS396 car. Here's the motor. It is a numbers matching motor. And you see, here's the numbers. And then the suffix numbers I checked out. And obviously, the block number. It is a 325 horse motor. And, didn't think about that until I walked past over here and seen it right there. But you can change an air cleaner. So, just wanted to make sure of that. Now I wanted to check the trans. I got to clean the trans up. You can see the trans is pretty dirty. I want to see if that's the original trans too, so I can let them know. I'll be doing the wiring. Like I said, they had just rigged up the wiring just so they can get the car to run and everything. Mickey Mouse it together, just enough to where it ran. So we're going to be doing the trans too. Is originally that's what it was here for, was a trans, because he said it was slipping. But then got to talking and he said, let's do a gasket seal on it, and he wants to clean all this up. He wants me to clean it all up. You can see I started to clean it up to, you can see where I stopped right there. And then I cleaned up in here a little bit. But other than that, it's really clean. The car's solid. That's not right, that bolt. I should have one of the right style ones. And then you can see that bushing in the shot. We're going to be doing the bushings, control arm bushings, front shocks, heater core leaks. And I'll show you underneath. This car is really clean. I mean, really clean. You know, I mean, it's really nice. He's got new springs in the back and new shocks already. I believe the brake lines, all the rubber brake lines were replaced already, and some of the front suspension or steering. But you can see it's really clean. It's not bad at all. And I mean, the floors is really solid. You can see there's a little wet right there. That's because of the heater core. There is this spot right there. That's about a good 1.5 inches wide. But it's pretty much the same on both sides. You know, real nice shape, real nice. The floors are nice. Everything looks really good. The frame's not like, you know, not even scaly bad. You know, it's really good shape. So, you know, we're gonna clean it all up, everything, and as for the underside, I don't know. He might undercoat it. It's, you know, all drums. Yeah, see, you can see, you know, these designs were replaced. You know, you can see the nastiness. It's got its nastiness. This thing was in a barn. I don't know for how long. I think he had gotten it from Wisconsin, or he just put it in a place in Wisconsin or something like that. It got a friend's or something like that. For a while it sat, but beautiful car. Really, really nice. It's in real good shape. You know, he's for people that don't know, it's got a little whoopty right there. It's really clean. And this interior, I've said this before, I really like this color. That's a real sharp blue. Now see, like inside the car, it don't smell because it's got all the dryer sheets, so it smells good. It says 29,900 and some odd number. But I don't know, man. Looking at the inside, I mean, that or somebody redid a lot of the car, or it's, you know, original. And I want to show all of his numbers here. So you see there's the other, show the last ones. I think that's how they do it, is the last ones. But the numbers do match on the block to the motor, or the motor to the car. They match. So is it a 29,000 mile car? I don't know. I mean, you know, because you're looking at some of the weather stripping, but this car, like I said, it could have been sitting and stuff like that. I don't know a whole lot on it. You know, some people will probably say yeah, and some people will probably say no. Based on the brake pedal, I don't know, guys, because look at it. The brake pedal is pretty wore out. You know, but the gas pedal is in good shape. So you be the judge of that. And then, you know, the oddities of no AC, manual brake, but power steering. Is that an odd thing? Is that normal for these? I don't know. Please comment down below. You know, here's another thing that, like I said, I know it's not an AC car, but this is his original radiator. Well, unoriginal radiator. The only thing my question, I mean, it could be his original radiator. The only thing I question is it's only a 2-core. It's only a 2-core radiator. Now, is that normal? I don't know. Again, leave a comment about that. Is that normal for the non-AC cars with the 396, you know, an SS 396 car, to have only a 2-core, or should it have a 3-core? You know, just one of those things to know, because if that's an original, if it's original to the car,
you know, it is correct. It can come with that. He's going to have this one restored. If not, then he's going to look at a 3-core, and whatever he finds, if he has to go in an aluminum one, I guess we'll have to paint it black to make it look more stock or more original, I guess, or whatever he decides to do, unless he finds him a 3-core, a good original 3-core. I'm sure they have them. Like the AC cars might have had them. But okay, so kind of where I'm at on this. This is a second video of just me going through the car, you know, obviously pulling the motor out and stuff like that. And just to mention that I did check before I pulled the motor, I checked the timing on this car, and with no vacuum advance, this thing had 37 degrees of timing in it. I'm like, well, that'll make it run hot. Then, and you would run it for 5 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes. Good enough to let it warm up a little bit. And then try to shut it off, restart it. Oh yeah, it was a slow start. But, and again, a lot to do with timing and or heat. Then also noticed that it was idling at about 1,500, give or take 100 or so RPMs. Well, that's going to make it run hot when you got your foot on the brake and the car's idling at 1,300 RPMs. That's going to add a little more heat. Then with that small radiator, that did seep a little bit. The heater core, you know, seeping, stuff like that. Stuff like that's going to make this thing run hot. So all that I'll go through. I'm going to do a regasket on this anyways. So even if it was a leaky head gasket, well, we're going to solve that problem. I'm going to be replacing the head gaskets on it, all the gaskets. The reason why I had to take the intake off was I had to find out if I had the rectangular ports or what port I have, so I can order the gasket set for it. And I think that's everything on the car that I wanted to mention for now. Like I said, I'll try to chime in once in a while to give you guys a little bit of an update of what's going on and where I'm at with the car and how everything's going. And as far as I know, as far as I can think of right now, that was everything I wanted to talk about as for the car. And anything you guys, any kind of information or anything like that you guys have, you know, that'll help me for the motor wise and all that, or even a good reputable place for a good 3-core radiator, original looking. It'd be nice to know. This way I can let him know that, you know, we got this option. As for wiring, again, they had just did what they had to do to get the car to run. Now, I can deep-pin a lot of that wiring that is bad and use some of my old wiring that I took out of my car, because it's actually really good, in good shape. And I have some more old looms. I can at least deep-pin and stuff like that and use them to have correct wiring, if you will, correct colored wires and gauge. In this one, if I have to, you know, make it look right. And then all this it's all going to be cleaned up. You know, all this up in here and stuff like that. I'll clean all this wiring up. Let's just start taking things apart to get at things. So yeah, so I'm going to let this video end here. And I want to say thanks to everybody that did comment on the last last video of this car. And if anything, please like, subscribe, share a comment as well. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. I'll be talking with you. I'll be posting another video. Not sure exactly when, but I will be posting another video. This time, it took a little while because I haven't been here in about 2 weeks because it's been really cold here in Illinois. So that was the reason why I didn't get another video out so soon on this one. Motor's been pulled out for a while now. All right, so again, guys, like, subscribe, share. Thanks for viewing. I appreciate it. And you all have a good one.